actually look at one important aspect of companies which have seen a big price target cut from brokerages. Now, in the midst of an ongoing correction in the stock market, many stocks have seen their target price being cut by brokerages. Now, what are the stocks that have taken the biggest hit? Puneet has prepared a list and he's joining us at the wall with more details. Puneet, over to you.
Well, thanks for that. So definitely over the last 3 months, we've seen a sharp corrections over mid-cap and small caps, and we've covered that in detail. From September onwards, these stocks have been impacted. But which ones have actually seen brokerage actions? We're getting you a list now. Now, two-thirds of the stock have seen correction in the target prices. When you look at both mid-caps as well as small caps as well, we've also included the other ones which have at least analyst coverage from at least 10 brokerage houses. We get you the top 5 stocks which have seen the biggest cut in terms of target prices, but also the ones which have actually seen a target price increase as well. So let's look at the ones which have seen biggest cuts now. The first one's, of course, Prince Pipes. Now, the company has been, engaged, of course, in the piping business and has been impacted due to high PVC prices. That's, taken the gross margin as well as EBITDA margin downwards. It's seen a 34% correction in terms of price, which is the first column. Whirlpool has seen promoter holdings being one of the key challenges from its global parent as well, while Honasa Consumer's business momentum has been hampered ever since the first quarter itself, and that's continued going into Q3 as well, despite being a very strong quarter. That's been the YTD correction in terms of target prices by brokerages. Here we see which is the best target prices in terms of what the topmost brokerage has, and that's roughly about 390 rupees for something like a Prince Pipes. When you look at something like an upside as well, that's almost 40% in terms of the best target price, despite seeing a YTD correction in overall target prices by analysts according to Bloomberg. Now we see another one interesting list has been, Natco Pharma, which has seen roughly about 25% upside, despite seeing an overall correction of about 23% in the YTD target prices. But let's also look at the 5 other stocks that brokerages have actually been bullish on. And we see Laurus Labs, Paytm, SRF being one of the few names. Now, Laurus has the highest hike in its target prices by brokerage by almost 31%. While Paytm, while after the correction, brokerages have mentioned that the upside potential is huge post its new business model as well. For SRF as well, it's more of a valuation play with the conditions not being very suited for the chemical names. But essentially for SRF, the business prospects as well as being the best in terms of the chemical sector seems one of the biggest positives. And Muthoot Finance, again, being one of the gold finances as well. After the correction, which we've seen in the MFI space, gold financing stocks had done well, and same for UPL as well. Sort of big correction in UPL as well. When you look at the return potential, though, it's not a very pretty picture, and that's because some of those fundamentals have been baked into the target price as well. So overall, if you see 5 names which saw the biggest cut in target prices do offer some kind of return potential, while these 5 which showed some kind of increase in target prices, well, the return ratios and the return portfolio going forward as well might not be that much.
Thanks, Puneet, for getting us the details. Amit, very quickly, between Laurus Labs, Paytm, SRF, Muthoot Finance, as well as UPL, these are the stocks with the highest target price increase. Any preferences that you have where charts are strong?
My recommendation, SRF looks positive. Strong consolidation has been going on in this counter, which we are seeing that in the weekly chart, flag pattern formation is also being created. So currently, if any dips comes in this counter, we can create new long position for the target upside near 3,500 to 3,700 levels.
Sure. Any kind of stocks which have seen, the highest correction in terms of target prices, the likes of Prince Pipes, Whirlpool has seen a lot of promoter holdings going down as well. Any one of these names that's something that you like? Avinash?
Yeah, I think my sense is that, companies like United Phosphorus, or for that reason, something like a Whirlpool, I think there have been a lot of pessimistic kind of concerns from the market that Whirlpool might exit the company, or typically, the MNC company collaborator does not have any management interest in the company going forward. But I think, the fundamentals of the company remain to be quite solid. It's a debt-free business, has a very strong marquee kind of brand name in the white goods market. So I think clearly somebody who's got a couple of years mind, investment perspective can definitely think of dabbling in this counter. I would not be surprised that the company would definitely bounce back. But yes, I think until and unless things get clearer, I think maybe the stock may remain in a sideways zone. In case of United Phosphorus, Puneet, the market, yes, last year for agrochemicals was extremely bad, but things are now gradually improving. The company is a very large player in the US, especially the Latin American markets. And I think hopefully this year, I think if the agrochemical market improves, then I think the stock has got all the potential to bounce back. So I think, these could be fairly contra bets in the near term. But in the longer term, I think these have got very solid business models which could add value. But I think it's only a matter of time. And I think investors who only have a long-term kind of time frame, at least a couple of years, can definitely think of investing here.
Well, on that note, Avinash and Amit, both, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your stock views as well as outlook on the sectors that we spoke about. We look forward to our next conversation, but thanks so much for joining us today.